Hey, we got 4 pages of script and you're all busy people with places to go, so let's get through it. Welcome, you weary traveler, back in time to the top 10 best winter 2020 anime. Every season there is a new lineup of shows that get released, and it is my cross to bear to watch all the garbage so I can pick up a few decent gems out of the entire list. Unfortunately, this time around, there's not a lot of shine. Nonetheless, it is my duty to clear off any doubt and sort you out on what might still be possibly interesting. Usually, I make 2 lists, one for the new IPs and one for the sequels. This time around, I'm going to go through what I think is every meaningful title, and I'll spend more time on the better ones. Of course, as a reminder, I've only seen a few episodes out of each titles because that's all that's available at the time of making this video. Not that it's gonna be relevant in 3 months anymore, so whatever. Let's go! Starting at number 10 with Darwins Game. I've been talking about this one quite a bit in the past few weeks, so I'll be brief. I don't know, revert to the Battle Royale survival anime I made last week for more details. Guy joins a mobile game that pairs you against another player and it forces you to kill the other person in real life. Whoever wins gets some points that you can use to order some new weapons, high octane action, low thinking, kind of a guilty pleasure, but I like it quite a lot anyway. Also, naked girl at the end of episode 1/2, that's worth an endorsement by itself! Pick it up, only if you enjoy the survival type of anime, which I do, quite a lot. Number 9, Rikikoi. Okay, this one I'm putting at number 9 because it's too early to tell. If they have sex at any point, this is an instant win. It doesn't even have to be in a lewd way. Make it super Christian if you have to. Behind a curtain, fully clothed, in the dark, while chanting Jesus is good. I don't care, just put it in. I didn't intend it as a joke, but it works. I guess I have to explain the premise, otherwise this doesn't really make sense. The show is about 2 scientists, university students, who are logical people. Science explains everything. So they decide to study and put some logic into love. Comedy has potential. I feel like it's trying to ride the coattail of Kaguya-sama in terms of odd romantic comedy. But again, just for me, it's all gonna come down to whether or not they bone. Cause I'm gonna be so mad if they do another Neju no Susume on me again. So mad! Number 8, Dorohedro. Brand new title by MAPPA. Dorohedro is a story that happens in a really crappy district. Think Detroit, but like magnified by 100. Some people are weird monster-like folks, but everyone tried to make the best out of this gangsta life. There's a weird contrast of comedy and almost slice of life to this other side of the coin of death and carnage. I'm putting it back at the short end of this list because no matter how good the story actually is, the CGI is really off-putting for me in this case. I don't usually mind 3D. If anything, I'm very lenient about it in cases like Beastars or Ajin, who really make it work, but this feels clunky and feels more like Berserk 2016. In this very rare case, I'd recommend people to stick to the manga instead. Number 7, ID Invaded. So before I started watching this one, I thought it was related to that other one show on Netflix called ID Zero. IDO. Turns out, nah, that ain't it, chief. It's its own thing. If you've seen and enjoyed Psycho-Pass, then you are in luck. They both have a similar premise. The story is about a system that allows a human to enter the mind of a criminal. It's a detective-like anime, and while I think the overall aspect of it is neat, I also feel there's a better detective anime this season that we're gonna cover in a few entries. This show has a lot of potential for a nice ending, but we're still in the early stages. It's a wait-and-see situation. Number 6, Runway de Warate. I think I went in with the preconception that I was gonna hate this one. Runway model sounded like an absolute nightmare. Girlish anime. yet it surprised me. It gave a bit of insight into the world of modeling that I honestly truly never cared about. Fashion ain't really my thing outside of Trilby and a black coat. It's a fucking Trilby. The next uneducated asshole that calls my hat a fedora is gonna get daddy's belt. So let me step away from that landmine for a quick second to return to this anime. The story is about a young girl who wants to be part of the runway industry. Unfortunately, she's very short, and that's like a deal breaker or whatever for a model because people who wear clothes are apparently all 6 feet tall women. So she struggles with that. It's actually much richer than I first thought it was going to be. Number 5, okay, I have to do my job here and it sucks. Ishizoku Reviewers. So a couple of days ago, my boy Nuxtaku rated Mal by using his clout to vote brigade the crap out of this anime, raising it to a whopping 9.23 something. It was higher than Fullmetal Alchemist. It definitely got reverted back since, but all memes aside, I gotta do my job and tell you the real tea, sis. Interspecies Reviewer is an ecchi anime about initially 2 adventurers, a human and an elf who sleeps around in brothel with various species, and as the title implies, rate them out of 10. They meet an angel that joined their cause, and together they go about boning multiple races of girls. The comedy is gold. The lewd, softcore, is great if you're into that, provided you can find the uncensored version of the anime, because when I watched it, it wasn't, and that really killed the vibe, dude. Characters are basic, there's literally no plot besides boinking. You're honestly better off watching a hentai at that point. As much as people will try to claim it's a 10 out of 10 for the memes, I gotta be the boring dad and tell you it's a soft 7 at best. Number 4, Kyoko Sweetie. Remember ID Invaded when I said I had another detective anime I enjoyed more than that one? Well, here it is. Inspector is a play on word with inspector and inside a spirit. You have a girl who serves as a mediator or bridge of some sort between humans and yokai, which are monsters/demons. She teams up with the main character who's been recently dumped by his girlfriend to tackle a bunch of supernatural problem with the hopes that she can also snag him and get married along the line. It's a mix of comedy, romance, and supernatural mystery. It either works for you or not. In my case, it'll come down to how this anime ends, so I guess what I'm saying is, I hope they bone at some point. I guess Interspecies Reviewer had me corrupted this season. I just want everyone to have sex, and that's okay. Number 3, Somali Tomori no Kami-sama. I like this one probably more than the average anime fan because I relate to it in a way. The story is about a world where different creatures live together. One day, a golem meets a human little girl and they form a bond. It's very sweet, very wholesome. If you like daddy-daughter relationship kind of anime, this will be quite enjoyable. Several similar shows I could compare it to are like Sweetness and Lightning, Uchi Musume from last year, or Usagi Drop, or even Ascendance of a Bookworm. Ambience is very light and somewhat slow-paced, but in a way that it makes the entire atmosphere easy to soak in. If you're a dad and have a daughter, like me, this makes the bonding very relatable. Number 2, Toilet-Bound Hanakokun. Imagine the art style of Danganronpa, the action side of Noragami, and the comical jest of Soul Eater, and you get Toilet-Bound Hanakokun. A story about a girl who, wanting to fall in love, makes a deal with a spirit bound to the 3rd floor's girl's bathroom. Hanako, the ghost, decides to help her in exchange of a price she's willing to pay, but eventually you get to realize Hanako isn't as reliable as he claims to be. At least, not in the sense the girl would want him to be. There's this one joke that just got to me where Hanako pulls out a doll and then is like, what about it? And he's like, It's kinda sexy, and she just fucking yeets it off the face of the earth. The voice acting is so good, it just gets to me every time. Yo, Louis, play that scene again. We interrupt this message to bring you the honorable mention or not so honorable ones. The Isekai Gauntlet obviously will get tossed in here as well. Don't worry, I'll be brief with these. The first one, Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. The whole premise is in the title, isekai-ish anime about a girl who plays a shield tank in a VR MMO game. The anime didn't appeal to me on its first episode, but it's starting to turn up a bit, so I'll keep watching, begrudgingly. Number 2, Infinite Dendrogram. A discounted Log Horizon / Sword Art Online. If Bofuri doesn't work for you, don't even try this one. It's another VR MMO game anime about a guy who goes in a game, once again, pretty dull as you'd expect them to be at this point. Number 3, Pet. The worst version of ID Invaded. People go into other people's mind to control memories. It's like Black Mirror, the anime, except it's kinda bad and silly. Number 4, Kosuru Asteroid. I thought this one was gonna have some potential, but it's turning into a generic girls doing camping to capitalize on your camp's hype. This one is about sky watching. Astronomy is the word. It's cute and has beautiful art, but the characters don't hold a candle to your camp. It has a vibe of The Order is a Rabbit, kinda. Check it out if you enjoy Moe exclusively. And the final one, honorable mention number 5, Murenase Seton Gakuen. Furry high school. That's how I'm putting it, and I dare anyone to change my mind. The jokes don't work for me, but it probably has something to do with my innate yiffing hate. Which leads us to finally the number 1, Zokin. Zokin is the only anime this season that breaks the 8.0 barrier on Mal. I mean, besides Interspecies. Anything else is below that, I mean, in terms of new IP, but as I'm about to show you, it does deserve the praises, and then some. Zokin is a story about a girl who likes anime quite a lot. So much that all of her free time is dedicated to drawing and creating her own world. One day, along with her best friend, she meets another girl who has the same anime passion, but she draws characters. Together, they team up to create their own universe. If you enjoyed Shirobako, it's very alike to it, less technical, more imaginative, whimsical, but the inner essence is the same. I have a lot of hope and expectation for this show to really bring redemption to this season. JK, the real winner is Interspecies Reviewers. Get with the memes, old man. Alright, I can see you're getting a little bit tired and sleepy over there, so it's time to move on to the sequels. Don't worry, I will go through them very fast. You won't feel a thing. Number 7, Nekopara. Purely if you like the game. They made an OVA back in 2017, now it's a full-fledged series. Watching the anime would not be my recommendation into the franchise. Either get the visual novel yourself for some odd romantic furry-like comedy. It's cute and wholesome as opposed to the actual game that has an 18+ patch for just a bit of digging. I don't know, it's not really for me though. Number 6, Madoka Magica Gaiden. Does not hold a candle to the original Madoka Magica, but we knew that going in. Fun for a bit of memorabilia, but beyond that, it looks like just another dark magical girl anime. Who knows, maybe it'll have a few surprises along the way once we get further in. Right now, it's still a bit early to tell. Number 5, Isekai Quartet Season 2. I never recommended the first season of Isekai Quartet because to watch it, I feel like you need some pre-requirements, such as having seen all 4 animes that it's based on, Overlord, Re:Zero, Youjo Senki, and Konosuba. So season 2 is just more of the same. I mean, if you like the first one, I guess it's okay. It makes fun of the whole isekai trope in general, and it has some funny jokes regardless, but I feel more is missed out on if you don't know the source material it's based on. Number 4, Idolish 7 Season 2. I've praised the first season of Idolish 7 in the past as revolutionary, and I still stand by that. It's incredibly underrated and offers a really cool insider look in the world of male idols. Season 2 seems to be equally as good, but it's also kind of a niche audience. People don't usually seek out those kind of anime, no matter how original it may be. So, your loss, I guess. I'll keep this one for me. Number 3, Bang Dream Season 3. More idols! So much more! There's a lot of shows about Idol this season, and I could pair them all under the same umbrella: Show by Rock, 22x7, Oshiga Budokan, ARP Backstage Pass, and so on. I'm singling Bang Dream out because it has a pretty big audience, songs are still catchy as heck, and the girls are still cute. I don't care much for idol shows myself, so a lot of these just got half my attention. A Certain Scientific Relgan T, one of the two more significantly important sequels this season. Relgan T is part of the Toaru franchise. A few months ago we got Index 3, which arguably wasn't all that good. But then we got an Accelerator Sides 3, so I'm just happy we're back with Railgun Side. Solid start so far, and if we can keep the momentum going, I think we got a really nice sequel. Check out my Chronexiology video about the Toaru franchise if you'd like to know where to start in this headache. And finally, the best sequel of the season goes to Haikyuu to the top. I think it's the only title people are hyped about this season. Haikyuu is a sports anime about volleyball. It already had 3 seasons, which were quite well acclaimed, if I do say so myself. And now this 4th season is a 2-parter. To the top, we'll get the rest of the episodes during the summer lineup, rich character development, fun rivals. The show managed to remain fresh and provide every team member an equal share of spotlight throughout the entire show. That being said, it is also just another sports shonen season, so if you didn't care for it before, I doubt you're writing this into the bank to cash out this bad boy. But this was my outlook on this seasonal winter lineup. I know, not much to get excited about. Despite the position of the ranking, the anime I'll end up watching the most of is a Darwin's Game, Toilet Band Hanakokun, and Zokin, Haikyuu also. And if anyone tells me whether or not they fucking Rikikoi or Inspector, cause that's a deal breaker no matter what for me. Actually, on second thought, maybe the Runway model too. Seems weird, and I want to see where it goes. Maybe I'll regret that. Who knows? Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to click the licky boom boom button and come back next week. You'll come back, right? I get lonely when you don't. I'll see you next time. Bye!
I've been through the hard times, I've been on the wrong side, I've been ashamed. So many memories, you know I'd like to change.